Hey guys, I'm Elizabeth Newsom and welcome to my BookTube channel. So today I'm going to talk about how I read books and my system for highlighting and underlining my favorite quotes and taking notes. So in my experience, there are two types of readers. One of which is kind of more prim and proper and their books are really important. They don't like lending their books to people in case they ruin it, and they're very protective and perfectionistic when it comes to their books. The other kind of reader is more of a hands-on reader, and they aren't afraid to mark on their books or to eat while reading or to lend their books. Go. And I would be more of the type 2 reader. I love reading and I love books, and I want to make sure they're in good condition, but as long as they're legible, I don't care too much. Like, the spine can be cracked, the book can be dog-eared, that's okay. But even if you're more of a perfectionistic type of reader, I hope you'll use some of these tips to keep track of information in books. So one thing I do when I read, and this isn't exactly a way of marking or highlighting, is I like to block out words. So just a personal preference, but I don't really like reading bad words. I still read some books with bad words, obviously, which is how these markings got in here. But I also kind of mark them for my younger siblings. That way, if I want to lend the book to a friend or one of my younger siblings, I can do it with the knowledge that I'm still preserving their innocence. As far as an actual highlighting system goes, I do a few things. One thing I'll do is that I'll draw a wavy line underneath a word that I don't really know. And I've mentioned this technique before. I don't really go back and look up what the word is, but it just kind of helps me take note of what kind of context the word is used in, so I have a better idea of what it means next time I read it. Another thing that I'll usually mark in books, though I didn't mark it in this one, is I'll sign the front cover and then I'll put the date on it so I know when I started reading the book. And another thing outside of highlighting and underlining is I like to kind of leave my personal commentary in books. It makes it more fun for other people to read, and it's kind of more fun for me to read back later. Like, see, apparently I snorted at this part of the book, and I guess I thought something in here was funny. And then finally, my highlighting system. So if something is pretty interesting, I'll underline it just with a pen. If it's important, I'll use a highlighter. Like this one says, you learn best by reading a lot and writing a lot. And the most valuable lessons of all are the ones you teach yourself. And then if something is ultra important, I'll use a highlighter and I'll underline it. For example, this quote says, description begins in the writer's imagination, but should finish in the reader's. Or sometimes if something's really important, I'll just use a triple underline. So those are some of the ways that I like to mark up my books. And now I'd like to hear from you guys. Are you guys more like book perfectionists or more like hands-on readers? And do any of you like to mark up your books like me, or am I the only one? Let me know down below and I'll see you next time.